from the Okaikwe Central constituency, where Baba Sadiq,
where we understand that constituency.
Hello, now the traditional vote, presidential by vote, with the incumbent Byroff, and they were with the presidential coalitions, and we were told they were now trying to put together the information and provide the results, and there was some dissatisfaction or displeasure from the agents. Why couldn't they collate the process for the presidential, waiting to hear the information? And the coalition center to the EC officials are trying to do their possible best to collate everything successfully. The MPP and the NDC agents are also cross-checking with their data to find out if there's any mistakes or problems anywhere.
Theophilus, so just reiterate this for me in terms of the vote margin between the. All right, so you had to speak to our reporter Theophilus there, bringing us the results from Ablikuma Central.
Yeah.
So I have to do a quick correction there. Earlier I had said that it was just a separation of 2 votes.
No,
that's what it is. A margin of 12,000.
A huge margin.
That's a huge margin. They are nowhere together close in terms of.
So
that's Ablikuma Central.
So we're getting some results also from Tema West.
Yes.
From Tema West, but this is the result for the getting from Tema West. Dr. Baumia, 27,049, and John Dramani Mahama, 48,210.
This is Tema West?
Tema West constituency. NPP, Dr. Baumia, 27,049, and 48,210. Let's take you now to the eastern region, New Jabbing to be precise. My colleague Kuku Ansa is there to tell us what has been happening. What can you report from the New Jabbing constituency this morning?
Well, Antam, so reporting live from the Coalition Center of New Jabbing South. It's been stressful hours waiting for the Electoral Commission to declare the results that's triggered in from the various polling stations. So now the results are ready, and the EC, even though yet to declare, they've projected the results on the live screen. And when you look at the presidential election results that have been so far projected, the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, had 29,830 votes. Then GC. Then you look at the NDC, you go straight to the NDC, that is John Dramani Mahama. He had 26,261 votes. Rejected ballots alone were 622 votes. The total number of votes cast were 57,643. Then you go to parliamentary election results. Michael Chibefi, the incumbent member of parliament, had 32,134. Then Martin Otu Ofei of the NDC had 23,735 votes. An independent candidate, Evans Appiah, also garnered 1,306 votes. Lantam, when you look at the 2022 results and compare to the 2024 results that I just mentioned, you can see clearly that the NDC, both President John Dramani Mahama and the parliamentary candidates, they have negotiated very well, and the NDC is happy about the results because in 2020, Michael Chibefi had 47,000. Martin Otuofe had, with the 2024 results, you can clearly see the parliamentary election results. NPP had 55.8%, NDC had 44.2%, and the presidential NDC jumped moved to the NPP. So that the NDC has never won before. However, this time around, they managed to win those polling stations. I have
is when that seat engaging the parliamentary candidate for the NDC. Let's go.
You see the margins in the results of the presidential, and it's ourselves and pat ourselves and May this seat is going to turn green. Excited that at least we can get this result. Parliamentary. It's hard around. We've run a campaign that has challenged MPP to the core, and you know it's hard work.
Okay, so Lantam, that is Dr.
From and told us the unfortunate story or incident of people believed to be supporters of Baba Sadiq who, unhappy with the results, unhappy that the results are not going their way, have decided to storm
to invade the coalition center.
The coalition center, vandalizing property, injuring people in the process. Injuring an observer.
And even the police have, according to Calvin,
had to run for their dear lives too.
Yeah, so what is going to happen? What is the 11 boxes?
Absolutely.
Because you notice I was asking Calvin about the ballot, but because they said he said a projector had been destroyed.
They destroyed the furniture. And they even hit one of the observers in the process. She had to be carried away. Yeah. Journalists are running for cover. No, is this what the candidate stands for?
That is terrible. So if Baba Sadiq is minded, and indeed it is true that these are people who are his supporters, he should call them to order. Call them to order, because this is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And the Election Security Task Force, I believe that the policemen and the immigration officers and whoever were there will call for reinforcements, because this cannot be allowed to happen.
It is absolutely unacceptable.
It is uncalled for and disgraceful. Uncalled for and disgraceful. If you are losing peace. If you are winning peace. You don't go to a collation center to go and destroy, ballots and cause mayhem. These are the things we've been trying to avoid.
Absolutely. And these are tactics various candidates employ most of the time. That when they realize that the votes are not going their way, what they do is to deploy some of these tactics to cause confusion, and sometimes would use it as a basis to demand like a rerun or challenge the results of that particular constituency. So, absolutely condemnable, should not have happened, must be condemned. And I wonder if that's what the candidature or the candidate Baba Sadiq stands for.
I don't want to believe that is what Baba Sadiq stands for. I don't want to believe that, right? I want to believe that he is someone.
So you believe that these are youthful or exuberant or overzealous youth that are doing it in his name?
That is what a candidate stands for, because it is most unfortunate. It is most unfortunate that this is happening, and we'll continue to call on the police to send reinforcements to make sure that they arrest these hoodlums and bring them to book, because these things are crimes. Crimes are being committed. This is a criminal activity that these individuals have just engaged in, and we do not need to allow them to go scot-free. So these young men who are identifying as NDC people who have gone there to go and cause this mayhem, they should be brought to order. I'm pretty sure that the police are on notice with regard to this particular incident that has happened in the Ablekuma Central Constituency there.
So, speak away from the commotion.
Yes.
We understand that there will be a press conference by the Vice President later this morning at 9 a.m. at his cantonment residence. It will be interesting to know what he will be...
At 9 a.m.?
At 9 a.m., yes.
So that is in just about an hour and 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
In about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, and we'll see. It would be interesting to know what he'll be talking about at that press
it will be very interesting to see, because, I mean, because at this time, I'm not sure by 9 a.m. we would have collated results out.
I was going to say that
until now we don't know. So
I was going to say that, I mean, the indications are pointing to something.
But we can't. For now, we can only conjecture.
Yes,
we don't know.
That's something that there there is information out there.
No, but I don't want to believe it is what I'm thinking.
Like it's a consecutive
No, I don't think it is.
No.
I don't think it is.
So that's why I said...
Because nothing...
So that is why I said...
We have 276 constituencies.
Relax,
we have only 20.
You didn't let me finish. I said... I also thought about it too. But then I felt, it would not add up because where are the figures that you are conceding to? You understand? So let's wait. We are all... We are all expectant.
Maybe he wants to talk about, some of the violence that has happened during the election, some of the anomalies here and there, and all of that.
We are all eager to find out what exactly would be.
On those issues.
So there is some results coming in from Garu. We'll get that for you shortly. But then for Okankwe North, Nana Madukia, she polled 20,000 votes, 627. Theresa Ladiawuni polled 28,363.
Can you go over that again?
Okay, Okankwe North.
Mm-hmm.
This is a seat that has been predominantly NPP. Mm-hmm. It was in year 2020 that Theresa Ladiawuni was the Member of Parliament for where Sami Jemfi is contesting.
You mean Samia Uku?
Samia Uku, sorry.
Where Samia Uku is
in the Eastern region. I'll get that and bring that to you. So she was the incumbent there. And you remember that there was a time Philip Addison wanted to contest it. There were some machinations. They didn't, eventually he couldn't contest in that constituency. But this time around, when Samia Uku came, it appeared as though, there wasn't much she could do about it. So she moved from that constituency to Okankwe North, hoping to also grab that seat. But the incumbent, Theresa Ladiawuni, has maintained her position and is the MP-elect for Okankwe North. So I'll run you through the figures one more time. Nana Madukia Esiama Eje, she polled 20,627 of the votes. And then Theresa Ladiawuni, who is an incumbent, she polled 28,363. So about 700 and something difference in terms of the vote. Mm-hmm. So that's the results coming in from the Okankwe North constituency.
So we're talking about the Okuapem North constituency.
Absolutely.
Where Samia Uku was.
She likes to go to the north of various of the constituencies.
Yeah, Okuapem North constituency and coming to Okankwe North. So she was MP, or she is still?
She's outgoing MP.
She's incumbent MP now.
Yes.
For Okuapem North constituency, right?
Yes.
She has not exited Parliament yet, but she's contesting to represent the people of Okankwe North constituency, right? And these are the results that are coming out.
And Okankwe North is an adjoining constituency. It's the next neighboring constituency to my constituency, which is Okankwe South. So it will be interesting. It will be also good to get the results from my constituency as well, Okankwe South.
Yeah, to see. But there are some more results, coming out here. We're looking at results from the Upper East region, right? We're looking at results from the Upper East region, and we're looking at some of the parliamentary data that has been sent in. Okay, this is Garu constituency, right?
Yes.
So the final results from the Garu constituency, we have the NPP candidates, Georgina Ladi Azuma, polling 7,936 votes, which is 30.8%. And Anaba Thomas Winsum, 17,832. Representing 69.2%, of the vote. So that's a total of 79 polling stations collated, and this is the results that we're seeing. Rejected ballots 338. Total votes cast 226,106. Voter turnout 67.8%. Total valid votes cast 25,768. So this is from the Garu constituency. These are the results we're getting from there.
Yeah. All right. So you're still watching our continuous coverage of the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections here on GH1 television and on Star 103.5 FM. We started with you on election eve, and we have been with you through that time all the way to today, the 8th of December 2024.
Yeah.
Today, you know, on the morning star, I usually would say that last, by tomorrow, everybody will know their sweetness level.
By this evening.
But you think by this evening?
By this evening.
Well, we are getting delays in relation
by
to...
This evening.
Yeah, okay, if you are confident about that, I want to give it some grace period.
Yeah,
to give it up to Monday morning. By Monday morning, everybody will know their smoothness level. So, by all means, eat something. So by all means, find something to eat in time so that you don't lose appetite.
Yeah, so those who chop breakfast will know. And those who not chop breakfast will know. So it's interesting. So Nana Madokua could not make it back to Parliament.
No.
She couldn't make it back to Parliament.
I mean, the contestant or the gentleman who was contesting here in Ibuakwa, is it Ibuakwa North?
Ibuakwa North.
In Ibuakwa North was too big of a fish. So she had to make way for him. Unfortunately,
she's not successful.
Unfortunately, she couldn't make it at the Okankwe North area. Let's see. Maybe, I'm sure she will make a comeback, and let's see how that goes for her in relation to that. And so far, we're doing some numbers with regard to the various results that have come in. So over here at your election hub from our strong room, provisional results so far, when it comes to the presidential results, 26 of the 276 constituencies that we have had. The total number of votes for those 26 constituencies, John Dramani Mahama stands at 367,471, representing 56.73% of the votes. And then Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic and also flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, he has polled 268,194, representing 41.41%. Now, this is coming from just 26 out of the 276 constituencies so far that we have collated results from for the presidential election. So that's how things stand now for us here at GH1 Television and Star 103.5 FM, your election hub, as we bring you minute by minute update with regard to the election that started on December 7. And we'll be going to some of our reporters as well. I did mention to you that in the central region, the official had talked about, the presiding officer had declared the results in favor of Kweku Ricketts Hagan. We will reach out to our correspondents for some more in relation to that. But the general assessment for yesterday's exercise was that it was generally peaceful, apart from the pockets of incidents and the unfortunate deaths recorded in different parts of the country. We have been saying this, and we cannot overemphasize it, that we had hoped that we would not get to this point where people would lose their lives just because they are voting for somebody to come and take over the helm of affairs and manage it, because we cannot all decide that we are managing Ghana. It will not work. So we need to agree that we'll select a few people that would manage and steer affairs of the country and steer the affairs of the country on our behalf. People don't have to lose their lives because of that. And that's the unfortunate situation about the exercise. Though it has been largely peaceful, these pockets of incidents where people have lost their lives is deeply troubling for all of us, and we must all ponder on that. But then again, after the voting process going smoothly in many areas, apart from the pockets of incidents where there were delays and all that, collation. That is where the delay has largely been, and is leading to a lot of discomfort, agitations, among others. People, police calling for reinforcement, gunshots being fired, people getting injured, and all that. And many of the supporters and observers and journalists as well are frustrated as this process delays. We wish that this process be completed as soon as possible so that everybody can go about their normal activities. I'm sure Monday is right around the corner. People will go to work. I didn't feel that today is a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday morning, but we're here, right? And so we're just hoping for the election results to be declared, providing constant updates, periodic updates, and asking journalists or giving journalists the opportunity to ask them questions with regard to reports that they are also picking up so that they can answer. So on that particular score, I think the EC have done well, with regard to that. And I believe that the EC are getting ready to do another address. And so we want to hear what they've got to say. And probably they will be telling us the reason why collation has been so slow. Well, I mean, it's typical, of the EC. But let's go now to the Electoral Commission headquarters for that press conference by the EC.
The ballots are counted at the polling station in the full view of party agents, the media, observers, and the general public. And then the results are documented on the pin sheets, the polling station results forms. The pin sheets are then signed by the presiding officer and all the agents present at the polling stations. Copies are given to each candidate, and a copy is also posted of the final result of an election. It forms the basic document for declaring results at all levels. As such, for this election, the pin sheet generated from all the 40,648 polling stations and signed by the presiding officer and the agents will determine the final result for this election. As such, for this election, the pin sheet generated from all the 40,648 polling stations and signed by the presiding officer and the agents will determine the final results for this election. Nothing will change. From the polling stations, as I indicated, the pin sheets are sent to the constituency collation center and collated at that level. The constituency results summary sheets are also signed by the returning officer and the party agents. The agents are also given copies of this form. A copy is then pasted at the constituency collation center. From there, the results are sent to the regional collation centers. And then at that level too, the results are collated in the full view of the party agents, who then sign and receive copies of the results. A copy is also posted at the regional collation center. It is from these forms that the results are sent to the national collation center via fax. The results, the regional results summary sheets that are completed at the regional collation centers and copies given to the agents are the very forms that are faxed to the national collation center. Once received, the results are also collated in the full view of the party agents who are here with us, and a copy given to each agent present. The results from the National Collation Center are also posted at the National Collation Center. Once this is done, the returning officer for the presidential election, in the person of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, declares the winner of the presidential election. For the information of the general public, as we speak, no results have been received at the National Collation Center. And I repeat, no results have been received at the National Collation Center from the regions. Our feedback from the field is that the results are trickling in to the regional collation centers. Hence our inability to publish these results at the National Collation Center. We want to assure that as we receive the results, region by region, they will be published. We urge all citizens to exercise patience and follow the EC's periodic announcement. We will keep you updated as we have done over the past 24 hours. We also call on both our permanent and temporary officials across the country, particularly the constituency coalition centers, to stand firm and carry out their duties as expected of them. We also urge the agents of the political parties to cooperate with our staff to ensure the smooth transmission of results at both the constituency and regional levels. We are grateful for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, Electoral Services. On this note, the updates for this month.
Right, so that's the EC's Director of Electoral Services addressing the media. Essentially what he's saying is that as at now, at the main collation center, what would we call the strong room, right? There are no results that have come from the constituency collation centers to the EC's head office as we speak, right? And so they would have to wait to get look. So we'll wait on the EC and see what they are going to do in that regard.
I mean, as much as it is frustrating, I think that we'll just let the Electoral Commission be. We don't want them to sacrifice accuracy over speed.
Yeah.
Especially with what happened in 2020 happened in mind. We're going to Okankwe North constituency to speak to Nanama Jiman. Okankwe North is where Theresa Ladia Winnie has retained her seat. Nanama Dokia was seeking to come there and be an MP, but that didn't work. Nanama, can you hear me? Nanama, can you hear me?
Hello, Nade.
Yes, can you hear me?
Who has been crowned the MP for country, but he has retained a seat actually. Honorable, I spoke to you during voting, and you were confident of winning. Now you won. What do you make of it?
Unfortunately, we cannot hear Theresa Ladia Winnie. We'll try and get that rectified with Nanama so that she's more audible and then we can hear what she has to say after securing the seat in the constituency. It's going to make her an MP for that constituency for a second term. Theresa Ladia Winnie did pulled a surprise in 2020,
in 2020
when she won that seat.
And she has retained
that seat.
Exactly, she has retained the seat.
We'll see how that goes for her, but we'll try and re-establish contact with Nanama Ajiman to get some further details as well as she tries to interview Theresa Ladia Winnie in that particular area as she is crowned. Can I say she's crowned?
Well, she's incumbent MP and MP elect at the same time, so the status quo continues.
Yes,
so
as she wins the election to represent the people of Okankwe North for another 4-year term. So it's coming in slowly. EC says, please remain calm. They have things under control. As and when they receive the results, they will definitely bring those results to us. But once they are not in, there's nothing much they can do about it.
Yeah, there's nothing much they can do.
Let's give them the benefits of the doubt, right? So accuracy over speed, clearly. That's what it's going to be.
All right, so let's go back to the AC headquarters. Evelyn Araba Edu is standing by. Just a while ago, the AC addressed the press conference. Araba, if you can hear me, what more can you tell us from the AC's head office? All right, we have Araba. We'll try and reach her. Araba is a woman on the ground at the EC head office. But of course, we've heard from the EC earlier, as Nadede was telling you. They are saying that the process is ongoing, so we need to stay calm. They've not received the constituency collated results yet. So as and when they have them, they'll start putting them together. Then the returning officer for the presidential election, Madam Jean Mensah, will come and announce the results. But as of now, it is too early to call. Even here at the EIB network, officially, the results that we have are from 26 constituencies now. 26 constituencies now. That is what we have. And of course, that is not an indication, or cannot be an indication of anything at all until we have the complements of the full result from all 276 constituencies, or a majority of the constituencies where we reach our magic number, right? Constituencies where we reach our magic number, because we need to make sure that, because there is a particular figure that if a candidate is able to reach, it means it will be statistically impossible for anybody else to come and overtake that particular candidate, right? And, you know, in Ghana, we say 50 plus 1. So you must get more than 50% of the entire votes that have been cast, right? So once you get more than 50% of the entire votes that have been cast, then you are declared president, right? Then you are declared president. So when you are declared president, then you become president-elect. And of course, when you become president-elect, then the way has been paved for you to go and make your office at the Jubilee House, or is it the Flagstaff House? Whichever one, you know, it will be. But talking about our magic number, right? Generally, we have a voter population of well over 18 million. To be exact, 18,774,159. That is the total number of registered voters that we have, right?
Yes.
And the projected voter turnout was 80%. Right, and this is what the EC was expecting, right? 70 to 80%. But it seems as though we may not be getting those numbers, especially if you look at the apathy that we are witnessing in a lot of the areas, right? Especially in the Ashanti and the Eastern regions.
But you know, with the apathy aside, there are our research desk. You know, they have been looking at the numbers with regard to our voters register, and they say that it is overstated.
The apathy is overstated.
No, not the apathy. The number of people on the ballot, on the register is overstated because we haven't necessarily done any cleaning of the register.
Right.
Remember that we compiled a new register in 2020 during COVID. Yeah, and when we finished with that, as we prepared for the 2016 elections, we opened the registration process to allow people register. So there hasn't necessarily been any cleaning of a sort of the register. And so they base their point about the register being overstated on, you know, the percentage of deaths, the death rate of the country. As a country, everybody, so within a year, there is a certain proportion of a certain proportion of the populace that will die. And so if they are looking at those numbers, it's not necessarily
so it may be bloated. But let's go back to the EC headquarters where Araba Edu is standing by. Araba, let's come to you. What can you tell us from the EC head office?
Okay, from the EC head office here, Lantam, I can tell you that officials of the Election Commission are actually getting worried about what is happening. So it's been over 15 hours after close of polls, and still no single figure
been received here at the National Coalition Center. The reason the EC has been telling us is that some party supporters have received the various constituency office, and they are making it very difficult for the returning officers there, the electoral officials there, to even make declaration. And for some party agents have also refused to sign the pictures for these figures to be collated to the regional level and then also to the national level. Now, the EC has been raising concerns of that if this keeps happening, then they are afraid that what happened years ago in 2008 may also repeat itself. Now, what happened in 2008? We saw some party supporters coming to the EC, waving cutlasses among other arms, other weapons. And so the EC is very concerned about this development, and they want all political parties to call their supporters to order. Because initially I spoke to one of the officials here off camera, and then he told me that some of the supporters have especially received some isolated stations, which is making it very, very difficult for the officials there. They mentioned some of the areas as in that of the Town where the Honorable Frida Pempe is, and then they also mentioned some consistencies in the Asham region. And this is the reason being that most or let me say, both political parties want to ensure that they are winning, which is why we are seeing this development. So as we speak today, no result has been collated to or has been passed to the National Collation Center here, and after 15 hours of protest nowadays.
Right. Very well. Evelyn Araba Edu, there at the EC head office, also bringing us an update, reporting that the EC officials are quite worried.
Yeah.
Up till now. But isn't it strange?
You know, what she talks about that the EC is citing as the reasons for the delay is that in many instances, the political party agents are refusing to append their signatures. Yes. Now, that is very alarming, because if it is the people abusing the process, it is very troubling. Yeah. Because if you know you have lost and you do not like the sound of it, so because of that, you are putting impediments in the way of the work, something definitely has to be done about it.
Yeah, but that's why I was asking earlier what the protocols are with regard to these things.
Because when the results are declared, the two of the very, I'm saying
the winner and the loser all sign.
So all the parties involved must be there to append their signature that this is the result as it is, and we have appended our signatures to it, essentially saying that you agree to that this is what it represents. So in a situation where people are not signing, unless it is for good reason, but from the way it is happening across the country, it doesn't look like it's something that is for good reason. Mm-hmm. It appears quite coordinated. And the political parties, you are seeking to lead a country. Let's have some compromises from either side, whichever ones are the ones are delaying the process. Please, kindly do the needful and let Ghanaians get access to the results. Mm-hmm. Because I simply don't understand.
So that's what I was asking, that, what is the protocol in place for the EC in the event that something like this happens, right? When they refuse to sign the declaration forms, and you have all your data intact with all the pink sheets and the number tallies, but the candidate is refusing to sign, what is the protocol? What do you do? Don't you, because you have your things intact, so don't you go ahead and declare? Or does he by force have to sign?
Yeah.
Or what? What is the EC doing in that regard? And that that's what I really want to know.
What you're saying, it seems as though the EC is
if they don't sign, it seems as if the EC, if the people do not sign, it means but you have the data.
Absolutely.
And these are your officials who have collated the results. And at the various polling stations, the pink sheets are there. So if the pink sheets are there, aren't we working with the pink sheets?
No, this is very unfortunate. Another unfortunate situation. And if it were pockets of incidents like that, I would understand. But where it is all across until this time, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
8:21. 21 minutes past the hour 8. Till this time, nothing of that nature has happened. Mm-hmm. No, that's just not right. It cannot be right.
So the EC will be minded, and they will do well to make sure that they are giving the proper instructions to their electoral officers to transmit the results, nonetheless, right? So that they themselves can begin to get a sense of what is happening. I'm pretty sure the EC officials have a sense of already what is happening, right? They are just worried because of the machinations that are happening. That there are people who are blocking the results from coming because they are refusing to sign, which we've already said it's unfortunate. So whatever protocols that the EC has, they should activate those protocols.
Absolutely.
Because time is of the essence, right? And the longer it takes the more tension builds up in the country. And that is something that we do not want, for tension to begin to build up in the country. Already there has been tension, and already we've conducted another election where there has been violence in some areas and people have died, right? And we don't want there to continue to be tension in the country because results are delaying unnecessarily. So the EC will do well to do the needful and make sure that whatever protocols, like I've said, need to be activated are activated so that we can begin to get the official results in. And of course, we're still bringing you our live coverage of the EIB Election Hub. And it's the morning after voting where results have continued to trickle in. We have already brought you some of the results here on GH1 TV, Star FM, and other affiliate stations, and of course on social media as well. As it stands now, we here at the EIB network have been able to get results from 26 constituencies.
On that one, let me just bring you an update. We have results from 34
constituencies now.
Out of the 276.
All right,
and
34
for that,
constituencies now.
The figures stand. So quickly, let's quickly go to a press briefing by the NDC. The NDC headquarters, its National Communications Officer, Sami Jemfi, is addressing the press.
Of the crucial December 7, 2024 general elections. This will be, I believe, our fourth address to the media, by extension, the good people of Ghana. And this address has become imperative because of the need for the National Democratic Congress to update the nation and its supporters on the current status of the electoral process currently ongoing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as a serious political party, we have polling agents in all the over 40,796 polling stations across the length and breadth of Ghana. We also have party agents in all the 276 constituency coalition centers across the 16 regions of Ghana. We are almost through with our internal coalition as a party, and so we have provisional results that gives an indication, a very clear indication as to how the people of this country voted yesterday. And I'm happy to inform you, and by extension, the good people of Ghana, that from the results we have seen so far from our internal coalition, provisional results, it is very clear that Ghanaians have rejected 8 years of corruption, 8 years of state capture, 8 years of wastage, 8 years of nepotism and cronyism, 8 years of economic mismanagement, 8 years of insensitivity and arrogance of power, 8 years of crass incompetence and ineptitude. And it is very clear that the people of this country have voted overwhelmingly for change. They have given the National Democratic Congress an emphatic, resounding, and a landslide victory. And in fact, the provisional figures we are seeing from our internal coalition show that this landslide, this overwhelming, resounding victory given the NDC in both the presidential and parliamentary election is unprecedented in the history of Ghana as far as this fourth republic dispensation is concerned. That is taking out the 1992 elections won by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Joe Rawlings of blessed memory, our founder. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we want to update you because clearly we are all experiencing significant delays on the part of the Electoral Commission relative to the collation of results at the constituency level and the declaration of parliamentary results at the constituency level. And as part of our quest to promote transparency in this electoral process, right from the start to the end, we deem it necessary to update the nation now on the provisional results we have so far collated as a political party. And so if you look behind me, you will see 8 screens. And on these 8 screens, you will see a summary of our collated results for the presidential election. And from the screen, if you look at the far left, my far left corner, you will see that so far, of the results that have been collated, the National Democratic Congress has garnered, even before I get there, you look at the far left corner, the bottom part, and you will see that out of the 40,976 polling stations, 40,976 polling stations, we have received results from our agents covering 38,896 polling stations. And these are results backed by pink sheets. We have pink sheets from our agents in 38,896 polling stations out of 40,976 polling stations in Ghana. The total valid votes involved in these 38,897 polling stations are 11,159,430. The total rejected ballots that we have recorded is 228,443. And if you look at the results summary between the 2 main contenders, the presidential candidates for the NDC and the presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party, you can see that John Dramani Mahama has garnered, per our internally collated provisional results, 6,286,600 votes, which is equivalent to 56.33%, whilst the failed presidential aspirant of the NPP, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, has managed to garner a paltry 4,614,606, representing 41.35%. And let me emphasize that we have pink sheets to buttress this. And so it is very clear that the people of this country have voted for change. And this is not just a vote for change. It is an extraordinary vote for change. It is a historic event that has happened in our country. And we are grateful to the people of Ghana. What we want at this stage is for the Electoral Commission to fast-track the collation process at the constituency collation level, because we see evidence of deliberate delay on the part of some, not all, some EC officials at the collation center, at the constituency collation level. And I'm going to give you further and better particulars to that effect. Now, aside this, we also have provisional results for the parliamentary elections across the length and breadth of Ghana. And the trend is not any different from the overwhelming presidential mandate that the great National Democratic Congress has been given by the people of Ghana. We have it on authority that in the Upper East region, out of the 15 constituencies, the NDC has won 15 over 15. 100%. We can also tell you on authority that in the Upper West region, out of the 11 constituencies, the NDC has won 100%, 11 over 11. We can tell you on authority that in the northern region of Ghana, based on our internally collated results, provisional, the NDC has won 11 out of the 18 constituencies. We can also tell you on authority that in the Savannah region, the home region of our presidential candidate and the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana, the NDC has won 6 out of the 7 constituencies there. I'll come back and explain to you, some concerns we have with that one constituency, Damango. Then, in the northeast region, the home region of the failed presidential candidates, of the MPP, Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia, I can tell you that from our internally collated results or provisional results, we have won 3 out of the 6 constituencies, and that is Yonyu, Triponi, and Bukubu. For Savannah, Yape, Bole, Sola, Salaga South, Salaga North, Daboya have all been won by us. There is a challenge with Damango, which we are trying to rectify. For Upper West is 11/11, so I need not mention the constituencies. Upper East is 15/15, I need not mention the constituencies. I will share with you the 11 constituencies in the northern region, which we have won convincingly. And in fact, we won, there is one seat that went to an independent candidate at Willency, and that is an NDC member. If you add that, that will be 12. But officially, what we have won, the number of seats we have won per the provisional results, we have collated internally 11 constituencies. And these 11 constituencies are Tamale North, Sagnerigu, Kumbungu, Tamale South, Mion, Sabuba, Tamale Central, Zabzugu, Tatale, Nanton, and Yendi. Of course, Willency has been won by an NDC person who ran as an independent candidate. Now in the Bunu East region, the home region of the incoming First Lady of Ghana, I can tell you on authority that out of the 11 constituencies, we have won 10 out of the 11. The only one that we didn't win is Techiman South, but all others, so I need not mention them, we've won. I can also tell you that in the Bono region, the home region of the national chairman of the great NDC, and should I say the national communications officer, out of the 12 constituencies, the NDC has won 11/12. We have won in constituencies that the NDC has never won since the 1992 elections. And it is unimaginable, unbelievable, incredible that even some of us struggle to believe the scale of the victory that God has graced us with and the people of this country, have given us. Then in the Ahafo region, out of the 6 constituencies, I can tell you on authority that we have won 5 out of the 6. The only one that it appears we didn't win is Tano North. Then in the Ashanti region, the stronghold, the so-called stronghold of the MPP, which I dare say has been turned into a swing region on the basis of the outcome of this year's election. In Ashanti region, so far, we've won 7 constituencies without any dispute. We've won 7. We've added 3 to the 4 we had already, and these 3 have already been declared by the EC. In total, we've not won 7. This is what the internally collated results we have show that we have won for now. But there are 3 constituencies in contention, which we believe we have won. And those constituencies are the Mankrauso area, Obuasi East, and then Tepa. So these 3 constituencies, there are serious contentions there that I will be speaking to. We believe that if you add that, we should be around somewhere 10 or so. So, but the ones that there are no disputes about, we've not had any challenges with, have to do with 7 out of the 47. And we are still following keenly the 3 other constituencies in contention relative to the parliamentary results. For the Eastern region, the home region of the failed, despotic tyrants, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the NDC in the presidential election is hovering around 47%. And in the parliamentary election, out of the 33 constituencies, the NDC has won 10. Another independent candidate who ran on the ticket of the NDC has won 1. And the 10 we have won in the Eastern region are in Sawama Duadri, the constituency of the minority chief whip. The arrogant minority chief whip. Alodom Pray. Upper West Action, which is Adesso, the capital. Lower West Action, Asamankese, Abri, Fantiakwa North, Asujaman, Payo Sikanashe. Lower Menya Krobo, Upper Menya Krobo, Yellow Krobo, and Afram Plains South constituency. We won Afram Plains North, but it was an independent candidate from the NDC who won that. In the Greater Accra region, the capital of Ghana, out of the 34 constituencies, per our internally collated provisional results, we can tell you that we've won 30 out of the 34. We've won Adan, we've won Sege, we've won Igo Pram, we've won Po Katamanso, Shai Osuduku, Ashaman, Tema East, Tema West, Crowell, Lijokuku, Ladadi Kutupon, Klote Kole, Ododio, Ablikuma South, Ablikuma Central, Ablikuma West has been declared. Osla is a goner. Amasaman, Adenta, Medina, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso West were gone. Ayawaso East, Domia Blogum, Okaipe North, Okaipe South, Ayawaso Central, Domi Pabinya, And I'm just receiving confirmation that we have won Botiano English among Now we've won. There are a few others in contention that we are still battling it out with the NPP and the Electoral Commission, and I'm going to speak about that. But if for nothing at all, we know that Ayawaso Central and Ablikuma West have been declared by the Electoral Commission. We've won that without any question. In the Volta region, the World Bank, the proud World Bank of the great NDC, there are 18 constituencies. One mistakenly went to a man called Peter Mewu in 2020. Now that constituency, the whole constituency, has come back home to the NDC. And I can tell you that we've won 18 over 18. In the Oti region, out of the 9 constituencies, the NDC has won 9 over 9. 100%. In the Central region, the home region of our mother and the incoming first female vice president of the Republic of Ghana. The region which also happens to be the home region of the current majority leader of parliament, Dr. Casey Latofose. I can tell you that out of the 23 constituencies, we have won 18. And in the western region, I can tell you that in the western region, which is a swing region, just like the central region, out of the 17 constituencies, the NDC has so far won convincingly, based on our internally collated provisional results, 15 out of the 17. The only ones that we didn't win from the results we have are Takrade and Ifia. In the Western North constituency, which has 9, Western North region, which has 9 constituencies, I can tell you on authority that we have won 8 out of the 9. The only one we did not win is Swaman. The BNE has been won by the NDC. And so if you do a brief summary of the tentative provisional results we have collated, so far, even if you take out the contentious ones, the NDC is hovering around 185 out of the 276. And as you saw from the results we showed you, the presidential results, we are hovering around 56%. And for your information, in nominal terms, the difference between John Mahama and Alhaji Bawumia is over 1.5 million votes. And that number is bigger than the population of about 5 countries that I know. So we are not talking about an ordinary victory here. That is why I said this is an emphatic, resounding, overwhelming, historic an unprecedented victory that the NDC has struck. If you take out 92, and I don't even count 92 because of all the challenges we had with that first. All right. So I'm even hearing that some of the constituencies that we had issues with, we are working on them. Techiman South, we are working, and other constituencies. I'm just talking about the ones that are not in dispute. And it is very clear that by the close of day, we would have resolved all the other ones with disputes, and this number is likely to go up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the most worrying issue for us at the moment has to do with the attitude of some criminally minded EC officials in some of the constituencies. Not all of them. Some have been very professional and they have done their work dutifully. But others are deliberately delaying the collation of resources at various constituency collation centers. That is escalating tensions and leading to violence. In some places, our supporters have been shot at, some have been murdered. Already you know that in Tolon, a supporter of the NDC has been murdered by thugs of the NPP under the instructions of the PC for the NPP there, Habib. We had the same incident at Kaswa. We knew the process, the official coalition process with the EC. When we went there, there was a dispute about one polling station resource, which our polling agents had objected to at the polling station level, which had to do with overvoting of about 3 overvoting. And our agents were of the opinion that that case of overvoting also existed in other polling stations. So, so at Mankranso, there was overvoting in connection with one polling station, and the votes involved were about 3 more. And we have cause to also believe that the results from other polling stations also had the same irregularity. We saw some EC officials coming to the collation center with a ballot box. And so our people resisted. They took the ballot box, and when they opened, the ballot box was full of ballot papers, and all of them had been thumb-printed for Alhaji Bawumia. And so they destroyed the ballot box. And so in the heat of the moment, in the midst of that pandemonium, the EC officials called the military to come in. When the military got there, the reasonable thing they ought to have done, because none of those supporters were holding any offensive weapon, and they could have simply engaged them to restore calm and order to the place. But they just got there and fired at the people. And they murdered, one person at the spot and injured over 4 people at Mankran. So that is what has happened there. I know, don't worry. All right, so that is Mankranso. Please, let me just put out this information. It is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also receiving the final internally collated provisional results for the Techiman South constituency in Bunu East. And contrary to the earlier indication we had, it is very clear that the NDC has also won the Techiman South. So overall for Bunu East, we won 11 over 11. 11 over 11. That is the indication we have for Bunu East. So the earlier communication from the regional secretariat has been amended. I told you that there were some contentious issues over there, but they've been rectified, and we have our pink sheets, and from our pink sheets we have won. And so it is now left for the Electoral Commission to do the needful. Thank you. So what we are the challenges we are having has to do with number one, Mankranso. The same thing has also happened at Tepa, where from our internally collated results, we won the election. We went to the Constituency Collation Center for the collation. All pink sheets were present, were there at the center. Yet the EC official was pussyfooting, dragging her feet, refusing to commence the collation. Our people, led by the parliamentary candidate for the NDC, pressed on her to commence the collation. She still refused without giving any reason, because she had the full complement of all pink sheets. And we didn't understand why she had to delay the collation process. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our agents decided to go behind the collation center to go and urinate. And when he went, he saw that a pink sheet, which is the main EC copy, had been torn into pieces, folded, and thrown into the bush. So he took it and saw that, no, this is the EC's copy for a particular polling station. Why has it been destroyed and thrown into the bush? So he brought it in, and it led to some, exchanges, verbal exchanges between our people and them, because clearly this was an EC official who wanted to create the grounds for the delay in the collation by destroying a pink sheet from a polling station. So we protested, and our people decided that once they have done that, we are not going to allow any EC official to come to the collation center with any new pink sheets, because that is their game plan. They have a lot of ballot papers, and by the way, this is the only election in the history of Ghana since '92 that we have seen printed ballot papers and pink sheets flying all over. We've never seen this in the history of Ghana. So they have it in ballot boxes with seals from the Electoral Commission, ready for ballot box swapping, pink sheet swapping, and so on. But thanks to the vigilance of our polling station agents, observers, and supporters, we have been able to block this evil plot of the NPP. And so, because our supporters decided to prevent EC officials from going to the collation center with new pink sheets, which obviously were concocted and fabricated, they called in soldiers. Soldiers got there and started shooting indiscriminately. Thankfully for them, nobody got injured, nobody got murdered, but they scattered the place and destroyed all the ballot papers and all the electoral materials. So that is a challenge we are having there. And we are having a similar challenge with coalition in Obuasi East as well. The NPP is refusing to allow the coalition, to take place. So that is what is happening in Ashanti region. In Wenchi, I don't know the situation now, but before I came to address you, the brief we had was that everything is ready. The results, all the pink sheets are ready. The EC official responsible for the coalition is dragging her feet, refusing to do the coalition. And that is escalating tensions in the area. If you go to, even here in Greater Accra, I spoke about Ayawaso Central, which has now been declared, we thank God. But Okaikwe Central and Temba Central, there are serious security issues because of these deliberate, this deliberate delay of coalition in certain critical constituencies that the NPP believes the NDC has won. And in most of the constituencies, the NPP agents are nowhere to be found. For example, in some of the Bunu constituencies we have won, they are nowhere to be found to sign the results as collated. And EC officials are saying we are waiting for them. We want to tell the Electoral Commission that if the NPP will not come and sign, declare the results. It is not by force that polling agents sign. If you are not there to sign at the end of collation, declare the results and spare the nation the tension you have plunged us into. And Alhaji Bawumia, for God's sake, you are an Alhaji. You call yourself Dr. Digital. So I'm sure that by now, through your many digital applications, you have collated your results. You know you have lost. Please, call your senior brother, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, concede defeat and congratulate him. And save this nation the unnecessary tension that you and your goons have plunged us into. Enough of the killings, enough of the violence. Ours is a democracy governed by the rule of law. The will of the people expressed at the polls is supreme and must stand. Be a Democrat and respect the will of the people. Leading figures of your party have already considered defeat. Richard Anyagba has considered defeat. Even the defectees from the NDC who came to support your cause have considered defeat, like Alote Jacobs. All of them. What are you waiting for? Ghana is the only country we have. So please, do the needful, concede defeat, and call your supporters to order. And IGP Dampare will continue to commend you and the Election Security Task Force for the yeoman's job you have done. But your job is not done because we are nowhere near the conclusion of the electoral process. Your work is being undermined by certain elements in the New Patriotic Party and their collaborators in the military. What we are seeing at constituency collation centers is not what the IGP promised us, and it is not what the CDS promised us. And we know that they are not a party to what is happening. But only they can stop the nonsense going on. And they have to put their foot down. They have a choice to make. You choose between the MPP and the Constitution of Ghana. Choose between the outgoing government and the supreme sovereign people of Ghana. Your fidelity is to the Constitution of Ghana and not the MPP. They have lost. Nothing can save them. They can't kill all the people in Ghana. There is no way you can overturn this result through violence. There is no way. So, if they will not do the needful by conceding defeat, we want you to put your foot down and stop the nefarious activities of these MPP thugs who have been clothed in military uniforms. And in some cases, real military men who have been given directives to go to constituency collation centers, scatter the place, shoot at people and all that. Human lives matter. Nobody is supposed to lose their life because of an election. We are appalled and disgusted by what is going on. The NDC has lost elections before, even when we were in power. In 2016, we handed over power peacefully. Nobody died. Nobody was murdered. Even under Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who was a soldier, in 2000 when we lost power, not a single Ghanaian lost his life. In 2008, under J.A. Kufuor, an MPP president, the MPP lost power. There was a peaceful transition of power. Nobody died. In 2016, nobody died under John Mahama. Why is it that only you, in 2020, you killed 8 people? That blood is not enough for you. And you are still killing people. As we speak, you've killed over 4 people in this election. How many more do you want to kill? How many innocent civilians do you want to injure and hurt? You have lost. It's as simple as that. Your Sisifia campaign, Atonsium. It's as simple as that. And it is time to pack your things and leave the Jubilee House. Yes. And we want to tell the Electoral Commission, Madam G. Mensah, the peace and stability of Ghana now depends on you. You are the returning officer for the ongoing presidential election. Your officers are deliberately delaying the coalition process in some constituencies and in some regions. Please, Madam, do the needful. Direct them to fast-track the process. Where they have the full complement of pink sheets, there is no legitimate reason why they should delay the process. There is no legitimate reasons. In some regions, like Greater Accra, I mean, the declared results are not even more than 5. Meanwhile, the results are ready. What are you waiting for? And the situation is not any different in most of the regions. And so please, we call on the media, the Peace Council, the chiefs, the pastors, to call the EC to order. This is the time for them to intervene. The NDC has remained law-abiding and peaceful. We've acted responsibly against serious provocation from the NPP. Our people have been murdered, beaten to pulp, attacked, yet we have exercised restraint. But we will not sit aloof for EC officials to deliberately delay the electoral process in cahoots with the MPP for the sole purpose of giving room to thugs of the MPP to manipulate the results, at least at the parliamentary level. We will not allow that. So they must fast-track the process. In constituencies where there are no disputes over polling stations, they must fast-track the process. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for your attention. And let me quickly do a brief, and I'll be very brief. Let me do a brief summary in three of the presentation I just did. Abusuanfo, the firm wa enye bone. Abatwa enura Ghana fo nyina yekoto aba.
So that's Sami Jemfi of the NDC addressing the media there, and according to the National Communications Officer of the NDC, they believe that the NDC has won the election. They believe that according to their internally collated results, the NDC has won the election. This is what the NDC is saying. They say that they have their collated results. They have their own collation center. And according to results that they are getting from their own internal collations, they believe that former President John Mahama has won the election, and they display that on the screen, which was behind Sami Jemfi, indicating that about 11 million votes so far that have been cast, and John Mahama is hovering at around a little over 6 million votes. And they talk about taking all the seats in the Upper East region, taking all the seats in the Upper West region, taking a number of seats in the Northern region, taking about 3 seats in the Northeast region, taking a number of seats in the Savannah region, taking all seats in Oti and Volta region, taking seats in the Bono and the Bono East region, and the Ahafo region, and the Central region, the Greater Accra region, winning all but about 1 seat. So this is what the NDC is saying. And they are further calling on the EC to expedite action as far as the collation is concerned and make sure that the results are declared early. He's also called on Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to call John Mahama and concede defeat. But this is what the NDC is saying. The last time the EC addressed the media, the EC told us that they have not had even one single result from any of the constituency collation centers at the National Collation Center at the EC head office. And so we have nothing official to work with from the Electoral Commission. We have nothing official to work with from the Electoral Commission. This is just the NDC according to their pink sheets. And we don't have the official results from the EC in ADD.
And yes, it's quite disappointing. But then we know that the Electoral Commission did address the media,
yes,
and talked about how this challenge is as a result of some challenges they're experiencing at the various, collation centers where people are refusing to sign some of the pink sheets. And Araba referenced us to one of the constituencies in question, which is Tano North,
yes,
where Frida Prempeh is.
Yes.
And basically, these are many of the bottlenecks they are experiencing.
And even in Sawam, Aduajuri, Etonam, Kumashi, also, said that,
They're yet to get the official results. But, sometimes when the results delay, these are the things that it gives room to. It gives room to some of these, declarations and stuff by the political parties. And we hope that these bottlenecks that the EC speaks about are quickly addressed so that we can get ourselves out of this needless, if I can say, tension that is gradually building up because of the delay in getting the results across.
You remember something similar happened with the 2016 elections, right? Where in the wee hours of the morning after the election, the NDC said, pair their internally collated results if they know that they have won the election, and they are urging Charlotte Osei to come and declare the election results, right? Yes. And After that, eventually they were declared with, because they felt that through their internal collation mechanisms, they've been able to, they're able to know, where they are, and so their results should be declared. The NDC has picked that strategy, has come out this morning that per their internally collated results, they have won the elections. And so the EC should do well and make sure that they expedite action with the coalition and come and declare the results. And they seem very, very confident of this. They say they have won 180 seats. That leaves 96 seats for the NPP. If indeed it is true that the NDC has won 180 seats, 276, right? Let me just do the calculation for you. 276 minus 180 is 96. Okay. I was correct. That leaves 96 seats for the NPP. And I don't know, is that up to 2/3? Is that up to 2/3 majority in parliament?
I cannot do the math off my head.
You can't do the math off your head. But that is in fact. But that's what the NDC is saying, right? We don't have the official ones. We don't have the official ones.
If we were to divide the 276 into 3 equal halves, what would be the 2/3?
So let's do 276 divided by 3.
184.
Yeah, 184.
So 184.
So if the NDC were to win 4 more seats, that will give them 2/3 majority, and then they will not need the opposition for anything.
But that would be.
That's as if what the NDC is saying is true.
Yes, and if that's the case, that would be very dangerous.
Very, very dangerous. So it means it will be. We'll go back to the era of the rubber stamp parliament. Yes. We'll go back to the era of rubber, and this is something you see. And the last election where it was 137 in the lawmaking chamber, Sami Jenfi has provided according to their internally collated results, as he put it. We are not working with the EC's official figures, collated results, as he put it. We are not working with the EC's official figures. If that happens, then it's going to raise a situation where, like I've already said, the NDC will not need the NPP for anything whatsoever in Parliament, and anything goes.
And you spoke about the 137 being a message from Ghanaians to the at least the political parties that we need more consensus.
Yeah, we need more consensus.
We need more collaboration.
Scrutiny.
Then this other one, if the numbers are this, if the victory is this is a landslide one and a emphatic one in Parliament as well, it also sends another signal that if you do take the citizenry for granted, they will pay you back.
Yes.
They will pay you back.
They will.
And to think that, then again,